So the multiverse is dark matter or dark energy. And I'm gonna explain what dark matter and dark energy is, but first we need to understand what universes are so we can talk about the multiverse. So we know that hydrogen is the lightest atom, and we know that hydrogen converts to helium, which creates the sun. So predating even hydrogen, you have the elements. You have the subatomic particles, and these are your quarks, your leptons, your neutrons, and your different formations of subatomic particles and energy that can be created to have nuclear fission and nuclear fusion, and have beta decay. Strong and weak nuclear force decays and different things like that. So in your electromagnetic field. So now that we pretty much know how universes can be created through this process, what you have to understand is, okay, if you want to say predating that, then you have to know that, okay, you have your non-ether gases, and every element and everything that condenses because of the word. And the word is when the Most High, or when source creates a tone or a frequency, and this frequency then causes everything to come out of nothingness or out of stillness and it causes it to have movement. So we're gonna talk some more about that in a second. So we know we come from all nature beings, and we understand that we live in a multiverse, or we live in something even bigger than a multiverse. But to understand the multiverse, you gotta say, okay, parts of nature exist as units or a universe, and other parts exist as dark matter or dark energy. And so parts that existed in multiverses created universes, or a unit in existence, meaning action is movement. So from stillness or from dark matter, the movement disturbs the calmness, giving birth to chaos, or giving birth to dark matter energy or dark energy. So you understand that one births the other, you know what I'm saying? Or out of calm chaos was the light born, or was the universe born, right? In other words, order and disorder. You have a process of things building up and things tearing down, right? Now, so once you think of what you wish to make or create, it exists in your mind, and then in that state of time existence, or in that moment, you come up with the idea. It begins to exist in time from the moment of thinking, yet still not in a place or a space yet. So once you shape or fashion or make or grow a thing, now it creates its own place or space. Once it has that heat, or it has that idea or that concept to expand and radiate out, right? You know what I'm saying? So basically, as a baby forms in the womb of its mother, it creates its own space, it creates its own time, its own space, its own thoughts, and then the place. And once completed, the baby becomes something or a sum of a thing, right? Because it comes from the nothing to the something. So matter, weight, density, and existence in three kinds. So the moment of mental conceptions, or when it's thought of in the mind, before it has incarnated, light comes from darkness. Dark matter forms dark energy, which bursts light. Dark is calm by its natural nature. Light is chaotic by its natural nature, as light radiates, creating heat, and can also kill, as well as it can do different things, as we are still these electromagnetic beings, solar beings, dark matter beings, dark energy beings, things like that. But we predate even the dark matter. Even the light spectrum itself. But that's, you feel me, for people to understand. So dark matter and dark energy exist in the same. You see what I'm saying? It exists in the same space, but not the same place. Or exist in the same time, but not the same space exactly. I said that wrong. My fault, y'all. And so they constantly switch. Like when you think of circles or cycles of time, they're constantly switching out between, the universe building itself up and the universe crumbling back in on itself. So no two physical things can occupy the same space at the same time if they are vibrating at the same vibration. So now that it is two or more existing tones can, by the pitch of sound, they can occupy the same space. So these tones can now resonate at a certain frequency. So they are at the same point of when they're being heard or when they're being projected at each other. So basically, if you're playing one key on a keyboard of one vibration, you play it on a keyboard of another vibration, even though it's two different keyboards, these two tones will still blend into each other and create a resonance in that field, so to speak. Right. So the universe always operates between order and disorder, alternating back and forth by exchanging places of growth and decay. Non-ether beings in the Most High, we exist outside of the physical and spiritual nature of supreme beings. But we know that when we are playing this role, or we in this character, or in this physical body, this shell, we understand that we are inside of nature, or to animate something, or to bring, like an animal, you're bringing it to a physical existence of life, a physical and spiritual existence. So universes, they grow and they decay. They build on each other, and then they crumble or decay or come back together into back into that state of nothingness. So a universe is not mechanically made. It's a growth in nature that's as natural as plants and water. It's a natural nature that starts the universe to grow, the multiverses. Then time starts a universe to crumble in itself, just as the body, human body, cells, organs, and everything ages inward out. Just like it's more like a fire when you think of that time aspect. It's like a fire, and that fire is like a consuming fire. You know what I'm saying? So everything will have to go back to the state it was already originally in. So both are all exist in cycles or circles of time, of limited duration or time. It takes a universe 9 years to be born, and it takes a human 9 months to be born. The time it takes non-ether to fully form a universe is 9 years, right? So the universe, its gestation period is 3 times 3 cycles or circles, or you're talking about the birth or conception in a 9, or you're talking about the golden spiral or the golden mean into the different divisions, or the different sets of energy, when you're talking about the different from the triple blackness of space and things like that. So how a universe sprouts or shoots forth like semen from a penis, or you talking about how it's like a woman, when a woman's pregnant in her womb, and how you have to mix the semen with the womb, but the womb's already there waiting to manifest this creation from like the nut is like information. The nut is like information, or high level information, or elements, or high level of energy, and the womb would be like the mother, or the feminine side of creation, there to receive it and to help make it grow or radiate or to expand. You know what I'm saying? So the gases and the chemicals and all active elements that was floating in space began to accumulate into a central point called the black dot. And these active elements, they was floating aimlessly like eggs in a womb. And they float because there is no gravitation to affect matter, meaning there is no gravity in that space. It's before the state of mass. And so everything is like light particles, right? And there's no universal body to attract those particles as well. So it floats there, right? Just like in the Bible where it says the earth was without form and void, and the spirit was upon the face of the deep. It's the same thing. It's the same concept about how the universe was created through the primordial waters, or the waters of none. You know what I'm saying? You have all these active elements of gases and elements and other things in nature that aggregate to a central point and make this black dot, or this nine-ball cycle. So, as it's being created, and you have hydrogen and helium and these different things, it's like a spontaneous fire that begins in the egg, or how the seed or the semen is given to the egg, and it begins to create suns. Basically, as things melt, they have a certain melting point and things like that, and things heat up, they have to expand and do different things like that. So to form a universe, you're talking about the combination of all existing gases and chemicals is non-ether. And when the sun starts to grow, it sends out electrical waves in the form of ethereal lighting. And at the end of each light wave, as it radiates out, another one of these eggs, or these non-ether eggs, is forming, and it begins to create another sun. And you're creating more and more suns inside of the universe. You know what I'm saying? And then even higher than the universe, you were talking about how you have the dark matter, dark energy that can create multiple universes, and this is how you get the multiverse, right? So that conversion from hydrogen to helium, from 550 more million tons of hydrogen changed to 550 million tons of helium on the sun, and this energy mixing, the mix of energy at atomic elements from 9 cycles of